Here we go. Part 2. So this is where part 1 ends. Part 1. All right. So part 2 begins with number 8. A parabola. So immediately we got to know it's going to be one of these or it's going to be one of these. So every picture tells a story. You're silly if you don't draw one. The focus is 2, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Directrix x equals 6. That's a vertical line. 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's my soil. Here's my pistil, which means my vertex needs to be exactly halfway between there, and it's going to look like this-ish. Now what is that point? Well, you can't screw this up. So if this is 2, 4, and this is x equals 6, well, this is 2 to the right, this is 6 to the right, so that's a total, there's 4 in between here. So I know this little space is 2, and I know this little space is supposed to be 2. So that tells me this is 4, 4. So that is 4, 4, the halfway place. So with that in mind, I know a whole bunch of things. Number 1, I know this is an x equals ay squared kind. I also know, because my Pac-Man is going to be eating the negative direction of x, a has to be negative, and you gotta take a minute and realize that, because the math is not going to help you with that. Number 3, I know c is 2. That's this distance and it's that distance, one or the other or both. I'm going to take these two clues and I'm going to go a equals 1 over 4c, which is 1 over 4 times 2, which is 1/8, but I know it's negative, and if you don't remember that, it's wrong. So now that I know what a is, I need to just put it here. X equals negative 1/8 y squared, but that would be my answer if the vertex was at the origin. We know that our vertex is 4, 4. So one student might go x minus 4 equals negative 1/8 y minus 4 squared, but I think the more common way we've been doing it is to just have that 4 come on over. So either one of these is fine. All right. Now here comes the completing square practice that we were working on so hard. So the first thing is we look at this, and we're going to complete the square somehow, but we're going to add 121 to both sides. I'm going to take a 4 out of there. X squared minus 2x plus space. I'm going to take a negative 5 out of there, which is telling me it's a hyperbola. Y squared plus 6y plus space equals 121 plus space plus space. Good news, we don't have to graph them. You just got to rewrite them, get them in graphing form. So take half of negative 2 is negative 1. Squared is 1, but that's 4 times 1, which is 4, so we got to add a 4 there. Half of 6 is 3, square it's 9. 9 times negative 5 is negative 45. Clean this up. 4, x minus 1 squared minus 5, y plus 3 squared equals, 125 minus 45. What is that? 80. And notice these are nice and handmade. As soon as I said, hey, it's a hyperbola, I know this has to equal 1, which tells me I'm not quite done yet. Now I'm going to reduce it and put it here. This is x minus 1 squared 1/20th, so that's a 20. Yes, there's an invisible 1 there. Don't need it. Minus 5 goes into 80 16 times, so that's y plus 3 squared over 16 equals 1. And we did it. Now we should be able to graph it from there, but it tells us not to, so let's not worry about it. Number 10, I see my y is not canceled, my x is. This is telling me what to do. Yes, there's a little a in there, let's not forget it. So I'm going to subtract 7, add 6x, subtract 3x squared, Same thing over here. Very easy to make one little mistake. So I get y equals negative 3x squared plus 6x. And now I'm going to bump that negative 7 way over there. We got some work to do right here. Remember, we got to have it x something squared. This is where we got to have this a 1. Now you can't divide everything by a negative 3. That would mess up the y. What can we do? Pull out a negative 3. So I'd have x squared minus 2x plus space minus 7 plus space. Half of negative 2 is negative 1, squared is 1. But 1 times negative 3 is negative 3, and we're on the same side, so I got to balance that with a positive 3. This thing turns into negative 3, x minus 1 squared minus 4. And now we are ready to graph that. That's what I would put right there. Next one, look at this, guys. X squared, y squared stuff, we have perfect balance. That is telling me it's probably a circle, which means that's going to equal r squared. But let's go ahead and get rid of that 27, subtract it. Let's factor a 3 out. So x squared, whoopsie, I'm going to go minus 6. There, I fixed it. I'm going to factor a 3 out of that. Y squared minus 4y plus space equals negative 27 plus space plus space. Here we go. Take half of that and square it. Half of that's negative 3 squared is 9. 9 times 3 is 27, so I got to go there. Half of negative 4 is negative 2. Squared is 4. 4 times 3 is 12, so I got to keep it balanced by putting the same thing on the opposite side. Clean this up. 3 times x minus 3 squared plus 3 times y minus 2 squared equals, you can see these 27s cancel, 12. Well, the thing is here, are we going to divide by 12 because it's an ellipse and it has to equal 1? No. Are we going to divide by 12 because it needs to be a 1 because it's a hyperbola? No. This is a circle. So I want to get rid of that 3, get rid of that 3. Divide everything by 3. So those cancel. That turns into a 4. So I'd have x minus 3 squared plus y minus 2 squared equals 4. The center would be 3, 2, radius 2. But they didn't ask you to do that. All right. Believe it or not, we are almost done. Last problem. Number 12. Well, take a good look at your squared stuff. Notice that's positive, that's positive. So we're looking at an ellipse because we've got a wackified circle basically. So here we go. My constant's already been put over here, so we don't have to move anything. Let's factor out a 16, x squared plus 6x plus space. Factor out a 5, y squared plus 4y plus space equals negative 84 plus space plus space. Take half and square it, 9. But wait, 9 times 16 is 144. Half of 4 is 2, squared is 4. 5 times 4 is 20. What does this turn into? 16 times x plus 3 squared plus 5 y plus 2 squared equals, that's 164 minus 84 is 80. And now we have to remember this is an ellipse. Ellipses always equal 1, which tells us what to do. Divide by 80, divide by 80. Now we're going to reduce this. 16 goes into 85 times. So I get x plus 3 squared over 5 plus y plus 2 squared over 5/80 turns into 1/16. So there's a 16 down there and a 1. That finishes Unit 10 review. So, good luck. Like and subscribe. Good luck on your test.